Hi, my name's Dee, your Professor of Woo Woo, and welcome to your special readings for not so much for the eclipse, we're out of the eclipse window now, but for integrating the eclipse energies. We've just had two very potent eclipses. I mean, all eclipses are supposed to be potent, aren't they? But the partial solar eclipse that was in Taurus gave us a great sense of promise. Not so much here's what you could have won, but here's what you can win. Whereas the Scorpio total lunar eclipse is more, and here's what you need to deal with while you're aiming for what you can win. Here's the crap you need to get out of the way. Here's the obstacles you have to overcome. Here's the things you have to let go of. Now, these eclipses, they're not just a 2-week length. As if you look at Dorotheus, he says for a solar eclipse, for each hour of the eclipse, you can assume that chart has power for a year. He's probably not phrased it like that, but it was a 4-hour long eclipse. This was really, really potent. This was very much awakening our minds or our souls or what have you into what we can achieve. Now, again, according to Dorotheus, an hour of a lunar eclipse is a month. I don't know how long the lunar eclipse lasted. I've looked it up a bit and I've forgotten already. I'm not sure I was even successful in finding how long it lasted. So comment down below. But as ever, I apologise that I have not been doing regular monthly readings. We've had some very strong astrology this year, and I have very much been, I'm not going to say been victim to it, because the majority of it has all been good. But I have been buffeted by it or kept busy by it, between day job and out of work commitments as well. It's not left me a huge amount of time for filming. And of course, quick plug, I am working on my course to present through later this year through Bloodstone Studios about angels and demons in the chart and how they can be used for magical purposes and for interpretive purposes as well. But anyway, there is a timestamp down below for if you want to just fast forward past the waffle. But before you do, please listen to this once, because I'm going to say, watch your sun, your moon, and your rising if you know them all. If you've only got time for one, watch your rising. But your sun will be of a great help considering we're talking about eclipses. Ask a question prior to the reading. You'll have enough warning when I stop waffling. But take a moment, think about all of the questions or issues that surround you at the moment, and ask a question. But be aware of all of those questions, because the cards will answer what they please and not necessarily what you or I think is the most important one. But focus on one of the questions because it gives energy to the process. And the more, energy in, energy out. So obviously, all that good YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe if you like it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say. Oh, yes. The other thing that kept me away from the readings was studying my astrology and learning the astrology, which, still working on that. Got distracted by angels and demons, so still working on my basic astrology. But as you can see from my bi-weekly videos with David, I'm getting there. Another 6 years, I'll be fine. Can't think of anything else. Please do comment down below if you've already had an effect from these eclipses. And so I will bring the readings up. So here's your timestamp, and we'll shoot. So it's the same intro for all of them. Next time you watch this, fast forward through it and just go to the timestamp if you watch your more than one reading. All right, see you in a moment. So Virgo, these eclipses happened in your 3rd and 9th houses, so that's like your neighborhood and foreign lands, respectively. It's your education or higher education. Well, basic education for the 3rd and higher education for the 9th. There's other significations, but to be honest, these cards are not matching those topics at all. Whoever I am reading for here, and I'm couching these words very carefully because this is the first half of the readings, sensitive. Let's put it that way. It's touchy. It starts reasonably innocently with the Hanged Man and the 5 of Pentacles. So there's a sense of looking at things differently to gain wisdom. Yeah, great. But there's also confusion. And there's confusion with the sense of, hang on a minute, if this isn't my home base, then where is? And in that one phrase, I believe you will know if this reading is for you or not. If this isn't my home base, then what is? Because I get the impression that there's a dominating personality near you, or certainly a dominating set of rules. So, I mean, it could be an overbearing partner, overbearing employer. You could be part of a cult. You know, there's this sense of overbearing rules that is telling you what it is that you are supposed to be happy with and what it is that you need to do to make yourself a better person and how you are supposed to be happy. And I'm sorry, you get happiness from that? Well, then you're wrong. You know, and there's all that sort of pressure coming out. We've got crossing you the 10 of Cups with the Magician. It's like you're being deceived. But I'm also interested that where you are at the moment, I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't know, because where you are in the moment, you're taking the power of the Magician. You're turning around going, no, I'm going to take power here and I'm going to take a chance. And I thoroughly applaud you, because if, for instance, this is an overbearing or potentially even abusive partner, yeah, that get out. You know, and even if it's just abusive by language or by mind tricks and language tricks and narcissism and spinning it all around at you, and it's just there's a really uncomfortable reading. We've got in Your Hopes and Fears the Emperor, that stubborn, inflexible lawgiver, clarified by the Moon, lies, deception. We've got this so-called happiness crossing you at the moment, with someone who is controlling, the Magician, and a trickster. And interestingly, the reason I'm going with this is, well, there's several. What Spirit is bringing in is 5 of Wands, so an argument, a debate, a discussion, an argument, challenging argument. 5s always bring challenge. They always bring, when the power of 5, there's a series of books called that, what's his name, Anthony Horowitz? But anyway, when the power of 5 passes through your life, it leaves a mark. It picks things up and it tosses them around. You will probably grow through it, but it won't be necessarily easy. But interestingly, this is clarified by the Empress. So, is that an argument that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger? That's fine, actually, in this situation, the way I'm reading it. But what I really feel is that it's an argument that brings through the doorway to new life, new abundance. Now, this is backed up here by the first Goetic Spirit, or Fallen Angel, I should say, for this deck. We have Caim, signifying disputation, signifying that very sense of, hang on a minute, no, I dispute what you say. That there is this argument coming up. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Star and the King of Wands. Now, I like that King of Wands. I don't know why yet. I haven't seen where he links with the rest of the reading. But with the Star, There seems to be this initial yearning for something else, yearning for something different, something of another quality, of another world. Um, oh, an Ace of Wands right beneath it. So there's that call to take action there. So we have the Five of Wands that Spirit's bringing in, and Five of Wands in the future, near future, because that's what this position here, try not to shake the table too much, represents to me, because I know there's all this, but this is descriptive stuff, past, present, future. I've always done it that way around. I know with the Celtic cross, it's people will say that's the wrong way around. It's the way I've always done it, so it works for me. And there's Five of Wands here with Temperance. So waiting for that precise moment to act, but when that argument kicks off, get the hell out of there. There's a lot of, again, it's that South Node eclipse business, the Scorpio eclipse, of releasing things. And then we've got Sad Embrace. Now, rather than you think I'm being a miserable sod, because I feel that way reading these cards, to be honest. But it gets better in a minute. I've got something good to say in a second. But I'm just going to read a bit from Sad Embrace. You may be entering into a period where loss is a theme. Perhaps you're having to let go of a long-cherished dream. If so, take heart, for this ending may have been for your highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realised in your life if you can accept the loss. And that's where, I haven't even got to the miserable bit yet, but that's where I'll bring in these new cards to give that glimmer of hope. We have Sahaquiel, the angel of the sky, the big, wide open sky. There's a whole world out there, and there is more of it than you will ever see, so go and see some of it. And then cornucopia, so the horn of plenty, that by taking the action you will receive good results. This, other people are aware of the burdens that you are under right now, and the fact that you seem to want to remain blind to them, and some people are forced to be blind to them, not necessarily through their own choice, but they believe that that's what you want them to do, which is an interesting thing there. But things are coming to a head. 10 of Wands in the way other people are seeing things, aware of your burden. Queen of Swords and 10 of Swords as your final outcome cards. Now, 10 of Swords, yeah. So there's a dead warrior on the ground. Whoopie-doo. He's transmuted and gone on to the Ever Realms, or, the spirit world, or what have you. So that plus for him. But also that's the end, especially since he looks a lot like the Emperor, who's in the card beneath him. That's the end of that stubborn influence. That's the end of that self-appointed lawgiver that's there. And that's where the benefits come in. But you have got to be honest. We have Valifor here with honesty. You have got to be honest about this. And whatever this relationship is, whether it's your partner, your boss, your employing company, or if it's in an academic situation, since this is 3rd house, 9th house eclipse, or if you're trapped in a foreign country, or you're desperate to get out of your local neighbourhood that you've never managed to escape, whatever it is, make the move. Be honest. When the arguments really start, be honest, because there is a will in you to argue right now. There is a will in you to say, no, I'm going to take a chance, because you believe the elements are working in your favour. You're going to take a chance and try to reclaim some of this power that is being taken from you, where you are being gaslit, and where... miserable reading, isn't it? But apart from it's not, because of that end of it. This is coming to an end. It's a miserable topic, but the time to escape is very nearly here. Prepare for it. And that's what I want to say, because what you have to work with is actually 10 of Cups again, clarifying Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is something where you are making this, I mean, what I call the Seven of Wands, that the hill you're going to die on, that you've made the decision, okay, I will fight to defend XYZ. And here's where I make my stand. This is the point that I will not concede to. This is the battle I will not lose. This is... I'm just trying to think of that Gandalf quote, thou shalt not pass. This is the point where you go, now I've been confused and felt poor and impoverished long enough. And I've been making decisions based on anxiety and half-truths and misunderstandings and me trying to look after everything I've got. And what has it got me? Nothing. But give all that up, you get plenty of things. You've got the cornucopia here. This the horn of plenty. There is things and then there is more things. So whatever you were trying to protect beforehand, just because you were feeling so impoverished, then leave it. It'll get replaced. Anyway, the reason why I'm taking this time, I'm not normally so diving onto this stuff, but here's the second half of the Sad Embrace card. Relationships based on faulty foundations are meant to end at this time. Disappointment is a form of perception. If your expectations weren't met, a sense of loss arises along with sadness and grief. Express these emotions. Tears are like healing rain that can restore life to a parched inner landscape. Growth is always assured. Whatever the loss, however great it is, let go and experience your feelings so that you may soon see what beauty lies ahead. And there is beauty with Sahakia, with the cornucopia, with that Queen of Swords, harsh truths, but nevertheless truths, and Ten of Swords, whatever it is, coming finally to an end. Now, I suppose the extreme of this spectrum is the abusive partner, the controlling partner, the overpowering boss, the overbearing, the living in a cult, whatever it is. But there's more minor ways that this could express itself. It doesn't have to be quite that dramatic. But the basic message of it all is, if you're feeling hemmed in, if you're wondering that, is this worth it, really? No, it's not. Whatever it is, no, it's not. If it's making you feel crap, it's not worth it. And I'm not saying that to be on a selfish way. I'm saying that you need to take stock of your situation and say, does this home life, does it make me feel healthy? If the answer's no, move on. Because someone's trying to gaslight you here. Someone's trying to control you. Someone's trying to tell you that you're happy and how you should be happy. And if you're not happy, it's your fault, because these things should make you happy. And if they don't, that's something wrong with you. No, it's not. Nonsense. Well, that was blunt. Let's draw you an angel, because it's these readings are getting quicker as I'm going. But I mean, that's everything that I'm seeing there. That's who have we got? So we've got Nine of Wands. So there's that defensive vibe. There was also that sense of time for a rebirth. Nines for me are always rebirth. Hahasia, God, the impenetrable secret. Universal medicine, elevation of the soul and the revelation of mysteries. Elevation of the soul. That's what a bit. Does whatever you are existing in right now, or whatever your question is about, does it feel like it's elevating your soul? And if it isn't, move on. Of course, remember, and I've been saying this at the end of all the readings, this is tarot. It's supposed to be guidance. Tarot over YouTube. The bit where you get the guidance from is not necessarily my words, but your reactions to them. If your reaction is no, because you know it's just a no, that's fine. That's what you listen to. And if your reactions is nope, no way, because you're being stubborn or because it's hitting one of those pressure points, then that's one to examine. Of course, you might think I'm right in what I'm saying, in which case, again, examine that. Do you think I'm right because you're being honest about something, or because you are lying to yourself about something? So, anyway, if it does mean anything to you, comment down below, like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And yeah, go watch your moon and rising if you haven't already, and especially your rising. And be lucky, because Lord knows when I'll get to do another set of 12 readings. So maybe by September, touch wood, it will be before then. Okay, see you later, Virgo. Cheers.